Good evening, metalheads and hardcore kids. Welcome to Metal to the Core, a podcast about metalcore, deathcore, hardcore, and so much more. I'm your co-host, Kevin, to the core, and here is also with me,
Lexa Felix in the flesh, representing 305.
Hey, I like that.
That's right, that's how I roll.
I like that. That's the new intro from now on.
786-954-561. All that stuff, baby. Jeez. All the area codes.
So we're here to talk about all that stuff, give us news, picks, stories, reviews, and whatnot, in the world of all that realm of what is core and whatnot. We didn't get users submitted music, so please send us your unsigned band music at metaltothecorepodcast@gmail.com. And
as promised, I told people that if we didn't get any comments or any feedback from our previous podcast, I will review Saint Anger in its entirety. I think they're all 12 tracks.
Oof.
And I will do it. So now I look forward to that bonus episode.
Garbage can sounds and all.
It doesn't matter. But guess what? If you haven't listened to Saint Anger, lucky you, because I'm going to review the whole thing. If you have listened to Saint Anger, you're going to want to hear my take.
We're going to call that segment "Reviews in Retrospective."
That's right. That's how we roll.
So I want to talk about an experience I had at a concert, Felix.
Would you have near-death experience?
No, I do the whole, the 30-year-old thing of like, I just stand right behind the mosh pit and just enjoy the fucking show.
With a beer, just kind of like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well,
and even more so that I went with Val, I went with my fiance. So obviously, I'm just going to be by her side and not like go mosh, go crazy.
Right. I always like the responsibility that like a boyfriend, or a husband has to take, or the precautions that we have to take when we take our significant other to a concert. It's always like I don't know about you, Kevin, but I always have to have like some kind of checklist, and I got to make sure that we're standing, 5 feet away from anyone that smells or looks like they might just throw a Molotov cocktail at you. Just a good amount. You got to check your surroundings. Make sure you're standing in a good place. You got to check constantly for crowd surfers because they'll come out from fucking nowhere.
Whatever. As
you know, they will come out of nowhere. And then you also got to be careful with who is landing those punches, and you got to kind of scope out your competition because in any given moment you might have to throw down, and that's where things get heavy.
Well, that's what these kids were doing. So I went to a hardcore show in West Palm Beach, actually.
Oh.
So like just over an hour away.
561 areas.
I believe so.
Oh shit.
In this venue called the Kelsey Theater. I've never been there before.
Kelsey with the K?
Yeah.
Oh, like Kyle.
Yeah.
A lot of Kyles in that room, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
A lot of Monster was drinking.
Hell yeah, there was
no
Monster.
Drywall.
They actually had a dedicated fridge for like quickly grabbing cold drinks and like for you to pay for, and like half of it was Red Bull and Monster. It was so funny.
By any chance, did you stop by the Lowe's or the Home Depot there?
No.
They're pretty sure they were out of drywall. Pretty sure they were out of drywall that day.
Especially while the Monster Energy drink is in the venue.
They get themselves amped up.
But it's funny because first things first, let me talk about the venue. The venue, the Kelsey Theater, was really cool. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like Ricky Dinky, especially driving up there. And then once I got near the area, I was like, dude, this is the fucking shopping plaza.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it reminds me of like Culture Room.
A little bit, yeah.
So it's like that, but then surprisingly bigger.
Okay.
Not too much bigger, but bigger. And I was like, cool. And then it's all enclosed, not like Culture Room, which is awkwardly like open, like has a weird.
It has
opening.
that weird awning type of thing.
Yeah, it's super weird. So when you walk in, it's just the area of check-in, and then all the merch tables, and then like a wall. I'm not sure if it's a makeshift wall or not, but it's a wall. You go around the wall or through the wall. There's a door. So when you go around, it's the hallway to the bathroom, and then the entrance to the bar, and then this enormous space. So imagine a restaurant that all the tables and chairs in the center, and they push them all to the sides. So you have all this flat area leading to the stage that's maybe a foot or two tall.
Really? Holy shit! It's like a platform.
Yeah. So everyone in the front, and there's no guards. There's no bar. There's no rail or anything.
At that point, you're on your own.
Yeah. So this was literally, all in all, a hardcore show.
Yeah.
It was Year of the Knife, because it was the Pure Noise tour.
Right.
So Year of the Knife, Sanction, Terror, Counterparts, and Stick to Your Guns headlining. Everyone was trying to get on stage.
Really?
And not trying that hard, because all you had to do was just put your foot on it and get up and you're on the stage.
Yeah.
Right. And then the guards weren't really doing much, like security. There was maybe visibly, I saw maybe 2 or 3 guys, maybe 4. And all they would do is just like break up the mosh pit if it got like a little too much. Because it's a hardcore show, so a lot of people were like throwing down fists and shit.
Yeah.
And doing the ninja kicks. Doing the cow windmills.
Yeah.
So that was really annoying, but the crowd in itself was really respectable. It was just there to have fun, man. And to me, it was such a fun fucking atmosphere. The bar was cool as hell. There were two ladies trying to deal with everyone.
Oh, shit.
There was some wait, but it wasn't too bad.
Okay. So will you go again to that venue?
I'm actually excited to go there again.
Yeah.
I'm glad I went there for the first time for a hardcore show because it's so small that I felt like maybe the max capacity was like 200 people, maybe. Yeah. And it felt full by the time it was Stick to Your Guns or even Counterparts. It was packed.
Okay.
It was really, really packed. I was trying to avoid the pit, but I was already like on the rim.
You probably couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts over there. So I guess to go over the lineup of Year of the Knife, more hardcore. They started with your pick.
Oh shit!
6 Statistics.
Yeah.
They started with that, and immediately the crowd was into them.
Right.
They were way more hardcore. The fiance, of course, Val, she was really, really into them because she likes that hardcore stuff more, even more so than I do. They were great. I was like, holy shit! They sounded better live than they do on recording because on recording I guess they got like that potato quality.
Right. Shit. The starch quality.
Yeah. And to me, it was really fun seeing that. I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. And then, I think it was then that they have a female bassist and she does the backing vocals.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yo, and she sounded really fucking good.
That's awesome, man.
And of course, I thought of you. I was like, it would be a female bassist that also sang and did a good job.
Right. Because that's the fucking norm, bro.
Yeah, that's your algorithm.
Yep.
After Year of the Knife was sanctioned, which blew me the fuck away again because they did all the hits from the first album of, I think, Infringement of God or some shit. And then this new one of Broken Infractions, which we reviewed not long ago and we loved. And they did a lot of mostly from the new album. And they fucking killed it, man. You could tell the whole crowd. If anyone in the crowd did not know Sanction, they fucking were won over halfway into their set list. Even Val, she's like, "Yo, that's not for me," but they were really good.
Yeah.
They were really because even though Val really enjoyed Year of the Knife, her gripe with them, and I kind of agree. I guess performing live, the singer got tired. I guess the way he screams is really throaty. Okay. Not from the diaphragm, and he sings like really high pitched. Wow, so you could tell that dude got really tired, and you could tell the girl was helping a lot with the vocals.
Yeah.
So then by the time Sanction went on, she thought it was the same thing because they look more or less, similar age range. They've been around the same time, but clearly Sanction is a little younger, especially that singer. That singer looks like he's not even older than 22, 23, maybe 24. But you know how white people look.
Right, they all look young and full of good credit.
No, it's the other way around. Well, white folk look bad for their age.
They age like cheese.
Jesus. Hopefully we didn't lose our demographic.
I'm pretty all of it.
But Sanction was fucking awesome. But she was like, oh, but they were good, but they were too all over the place. I'm like, that's what I love about them. Because it's the newer age hardcore of like, where it's diverging to almost grindcore. Like they're like a step more into grindcore than Knock Loose.
Right.
Coincidentally, also from Pure Noise. So you could tell the atmosphere of the crowd. They were really won over by Sanction, and they were like, okay, now we're in on this on this lineup. So then I think I'm already like 2 drinks in.
You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Terror goes on, and I'm like, I don't want to see a bunch of old farts. Because they're old, man.
Yeah.
Terror is fucking old. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to the bar. Val and I, so we chill by the bar, get a drink number 3. And we're watching Terror. And Terror has like a rap, like a hip hop rapper's like level of a posse on stage. Oh, it is fucking hilarious. Oh and then the singer looks like someone's dad. Like someone's dad that is already 50 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the Terror singer. But he kept like preaching between songs, like stick to your gun style, but he kept saying like, and like shaking with the finger, kind of like, no.
The kid don't do that up in here.
But now he's like, no fights, no moshing. He goes, I just want everyone to come on stage, bro. And people got on fucking stage. It was hilarious. And people start crying. He's like, I want everyone to crowd something from the run, but the stage is like barely 2 feet. So all they had to do was just like stand up and then just like fall back.
Yeah.
So to me, Terror was really fun because Terror is that really old school Orange County hardcore of like the song title is just like that's the chorus, and that's all you have to do is scream that title. So they would say the name of the song, and even if the crowd, like, anyone didn't know that Terror song, they would be able to sing along. So they did like the classics, like the ones I'm familiar with, of like One of the Underdogs, Overcome. What's the other one? I think it's Spit something. I can't remember. Man, I don't know. And then they ended, of course, with the bigger hit, Keepers of the Faith. So those are really, really fucking fun, man. The crowd really fucking dug him. And we went with a mutual friend of ours, George. Of course, because he's, young, single, and wanting to go out to see everyone. He went to the show. And you could tell he had the blast for all three of us. And even he's like, yo, Terror was fucking amazing. Because it's that hardcore punk that's stupid simple, just have a good time. And that's what they were about. Right, simplicity. But it was just really funny just seeing like a bunch of old dudes still rocking. And it looks like their wives are on stage with them. I swear to God, the posse looked like it included like all the members' families.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. It's a tribe, man. It's a traveling circus.
It was so funny. And then to me, the better one of the night, of course, personally, because I love Counterparts, was them. The whole crowd moved forward.
I bet.
You could tell the air, like it was in the atmosphere. People were there for Counterparts. And then Brendan Murphy, the singer, he goes, hey, what's up, South Florida? And he even paused. He's like, I don't think we've ever come this down. And it's true, because I think he goes, the last time we were here was like 08 or 09 Warped Tour in West Palm Beach.
In West Palm, yeah.
And it's like, I was like, holy shit, that's true. Because the venue of Kelsey Theater it's not West Palm Beach, it's like south of that. It's Oakland Park, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Oak Park.
Yeah.
So somewhere around there. You can tell we're not from there. We're even more southern.
Oh no, we're so flow as fuck.
So Counterparts once again blew me the fuck away. They were incredible. The crowd, I've never seen. It's been a long time since I've seen this. I saw more than half the crowd, not just half or less, more than half the crowd singing along to songs.
That's good.
And in a packed house. Even though a small theater, it's still over 200 people singing along, man.
Yeah.
It was impressionable. And that's the one where our friend George came away that even though he had more fun with Terror, he's like, Counterparts kicked fucking ass.
It's always good to go to concerts with George. Because you can tell like he's probably never seen him before. So his take is going to be as fresh as possible.
Yes, he has a fresh hot take.
Yeah, he has no bias, no nothing. Just like, tell me how you felt. Yeah. And it's always got on. So when we saw Don Broco with him, he was like, everything was great. Who the fuck was Don Broco?
Right.
Because they were amazing. Yeah. It's really cool to have that genuine. But so how was everything else?
So, to me, Counterparts fucking killed it. And you can tell that's when, like, the night hit another peak.
Yeah.
And even I turned to Val, and I even told George too, I'm like, I don't know how Stick to Your Guns is going to beat that. That's fucking crazy what Counterparts just did. And then maybe my personal bias is sticking out. I don't think Stick to Your Guns surpassed Counterparts, but I think they did just as good to be on par with them that night.
Okay.
I've seen Stick to Your Guns now. I think maybe now that was my fourth time. This is the best I've ever seen them before. Oh, and I think it's because they thrive in a smaller, enclosed venue.
Yeah.
Hardcore show. 200 people screaming their lyrics.
Everyone's super close,
Because the t-shirt of the night, everyone was in Stick to Your Guns shirts. All the older men were in Terror shirts.
Right,
it was hilarious.
It's the posse,
Right, it was hilarious. But you could tell the atmosphere was, this was Stick for Stick to Your Guns. And even Stick to Your Guns, a singer, another one I don't remember the singer's name of, He's like, this night is for you guys. You guys are spending your Saturday with us. This one's for you. And it's funny because he's known for being really fucking preachy. Mm-hmm. And he got preachy like maybe in the middle of the set list. But even that dude was just like, nah, man, we're here to have fun. Get on stage, grab the mic, sing along. Bro, and they did fucking, to me, incredible. This is the best they've ever done.
Probably like that preachy shit, that's Monday through Friday. Because we're here on a Saturday. And we're going to party. That's it.
Preachy shit is Monday through Friday.
That's Monday through Friday. That's it, bro. I don't preach when
episode time. I love it.
No, I'm glad you had a good time, man.
But it was really fun. I wish you would have gone because you would have had a blast too. And again, like I didn't do anything crazy. I just stood there and enjoyed the show, and it was really fucking fun, man.
Yeah, sometimes those tend to be the best. I think this might be my hot take, but those tend to be the best because you can really see it from a fresh set of eyes, from far away, kind of analyze the room, see how people are vibing with it and what works, what doesn't,
right?
What band's doing really great. However, coming from experiences, Kevin, with all the concerts we've been to, I am infamously known for always going to the front. So that's like my thing. When I don't.
But the front was a shit show.
That's the thing.
Because people you jumping over you to get on stage and trying to grab the mic.
So imagine, like, you always got to figure, you got to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah,
hardcore.
They ended it with, it wasn't Doomed by You. Fuck, what did, so Counterparts ended it with a classic, with a really old one, The Disconnect. Mm. And the whole crowd sang that ending of, I fucking hate the world. I fucking hate myself. And it was so awesome. Everyone screaming at the same time. But then Stick to Your Guns won up that with, fuck, man, I can't remember the name of the song. It was right after Doomed by You. What was that song?
You got it, man.
Shit. I can't remember, but it's a really old one too of Stick to Your Guns, and I know it's one that I know the lyrics too. But bro, the singer literally handed it to someone and left.
Whoa!
So the whole front and like half the pit just like doggy piled this fucking mic.
This one poor fucking guy,
dude. It was
that was
so
unfortunately
funny.
Lucky enough to.
It was hysterical.
That's crazy
to witness, man. And it was by where George was. Yeah. Because he ran to like the front during Counterparts and he stayed there.
Yeah.
It was so funny to witness.
Shout out George with a G. George with a G.
Yeah. So shout out to Pure Noise, man, because hey, they're making real noise with great fucking bands and a tour that fucking killed it, man.
That's awesome. No, that's always good to hear. I like it when record labels. I wish record labels would do that more often.
Right?
It feels like they don't do that.
Yeah, like Sumerian used to do that a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about Roadrunner too much, but back in their prime, they would do that all the time. Roadrunner Presents, Trivium, Unearth, and all these people.
Nuclear Blast would do that.
Oh shit, they would never come down here.
The one for like Azalea Dying headlining.
Dude, that was a perfect time.
Or Meshuggah headlining for a Nuclear Blast tour. Oh my god!
Now we'd have to go somewhere to Sweden.
Dude, I don't care what you're doing. I'm taking you to see Meshuggah live.
I've never been lucky enough to see them live.
I drove. Well, you already know that story. I drove by myself to Orlando for 3 hours to go see Meshuggah.
Yeah.
In where was that?
The Hard Rock, no?
House of Blues.
The
House of Blues in downtown Orlando. Yeah. No, not downtown Orlando. What's it called? The Disney. The downtown Disney.
Downtown Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That is seeing them live is fucking. It's a must. It's like seeing Tool.
Yeah.
That's a must too.
Yeah, man.
And speaking of
Tool,
tell me, what's the big hit of the week?
The big hit of the week this week is by a band who hasn't released a song in, what is it, 15 years, 13 years?
13 years. Since we were in high school.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
And you know what's crazy, and this will be my hot take before we get into it. Tool, the song is Fear Inoculum.
Inoculum.
That's the title of their album.
Inoculum. Yeah, that's how he said it on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out that podcast with him and Joe Rogan, I definitely suggest you do.
It's funny you say that because I was just gonna say if you heard it because I fucking hated it.
Well, I'm a fan of Joe Rogan.
So am I.
So
I think he's a horrible fucking interviewer.
But that's who he is. Like that, he's an awkward. Not like if you meet him, if you ever see him in person, what's his name again? I always forget his name.
Maynard Keenan?
Yeah, Keenan. I always call him Keenan. If you ever see him in person, personally, I wouldn't even want to say hi to him.
Yeah.
Because he's so just weird and he oozes of awkwardness, to be honest. And it's just like, well, you kind of leave it alone. But Joe Rogan is really good at just taking information out of people and just sucking it out and letting them talk.
He gets stories out of people.
Yeah,
which I'll give him that. But Joe Rogan always does these like pivot left turns and somehow talks about weed, MMA,
DMT.
Right.
Yeah. It's the shit he likes.
Right. And I get that. But when someone is talking and you could, let's say, find a way to hop into the next topic, I don't know why you cold cut the conversation to something that you like. Like, to me, it's just so fucking strange to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
To me, Joe Rogan is not an interviewer. He's just a conversationalist.
He's just a cool dude with a podcast.
He's just a conversationalist.
Yeah.
He gets a conversation out of you, but more than half the time, he's the one also having a conversation.
Right. And they just exchange it back and forth. So, I mean, hey. I
don't know. There's some points that even Maynard just was quiet.
Yeah, it was just Joe talking.
Yeah, and it's really funny.
I tell you, man, if you ever tried DMT before, you have to let me know.
It's funny.
DMT is great.
You say that, and those memes of Joe Rogan are so true.
Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing. He had the guy, fucking Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk was one of the worst interviewees there.
I only saw a clip, and I was like, I'm not watching
it. It was horrible, super awkward. But then the whole time, Joe Rogan is like, Tesla's great and all, but have you tried DMT? Because it would really help. Anyway, we're derailing. Derailing. Jesus. Tool. Fear. Inoculum.
Album and
first title song. This has been the first song we get out of Tool for 13 years. My initial
So the hype was real, but no countdown.
The hype was real. Can we talk about that? No countdown. I've searched for it everywhere. I went to the Guinness Book of Records. I visited the same dudes that do the countdown for the ball. No, for the ball in New York.
Oh my God.
I asked them and they said no. They didn't know about.
You went to Bob Barker's grave. Bo, what are you doing?
I asked them. I was like, hey, I know you. Listen, don't talk about Killswitch. I know they did it, but Tool. Yes, no, maybe. No one did it. So I was a little shaken back by it. Maybe they didn't have the right mindset for it. But here's my hot take on the song. It's almost like they never went anywhere.
Yeah.
It's almost like this song. It's almost like this song was just a hidden track
from
all these songs from 10,000 Days.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. I enjoyed the song. It's a little. It's prog. It's like 10 minutes long or something.
Well, it's a 10-minute prog rock Tool song.
Yeah.
13 years later.
And it feels like they never stopped. It just feels so genuine and so continuous. It's like, okay. I mean,
it's funny you say that it feels like a track from 10,000 Days that was probably unreleased. And you're saying that's not a bad thing. To me, I'm in the complete opposite camp. I think it is a bad thing. It feels like they didn't change. Dude, it's been 13 years and you never changed that sound? Now, again,
did you want it to, though?
This is, yes, of course. Dude, every Tool album sounds different. 10,000 Days does not sound like Does not sound like Laterales.
You're right.
You got me? And then what's the first one? Undertow. That has Sober.
Yeah.
I think that one.
No, you're right. That's the first
right.
one. 92.
Intolerance. Has that song, too. None of those albums sound the same.
No, they don't.
So that's why it's I expected, yo, this is going to be fucking life-changing. And then I hear this, and I'm like, it just sounds like it belongs on 10,000 Days.
Yeah, this is just a recap.
It's good. To me, it's a good Tool song.
It's a solid Tool song. There's something great about it. I wouldn't go out of my way. Remember how I mentioned I think it was the episode last week, how I used to go out of my way just to listen to Tool songs on YouTube because you couldn't stream it anymore?
Right.
I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to this song at all.
No.
It's lengthy and it's the same shit that Maynard is known for and the whole band is known for. The hype was there was a lot of hype for it.
Right.
But did it not? Here's my question to you, because I already know my answer. My question to you is, did it live up to the expectation that not only you had for it, but you think the internet had for it, or you think fans had for it?
No.
You think it lived up to it? No?
No, I don't. Honestly, no.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of the long wait.
It was too much going on. Yeah.
The insane fan hype and expectations.
There's a lot to it.
You got me? If let's say they planned it differently, let's say they didn't release the music a week prior to this single's release, would have would the reception of this new single been different for Fear Inoculum?
Mhm.
I really don't know. And we won't know because the hype is already a part of the zeitgeist. There's already memes about it.
Yeah.
We've posted on the fucking Instagram. It's out there. So you can't remove, popular opinion and then see something without thinking subjectively.
No, absolutely. You just can't do it because it's engraved in everybody's brain at this point.
Right. So it's too hard. So then I have to look at it with all of this baggage and been like, that's not what I expected. 2, that's not what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3, it doesn't even reach those expectations.
Yeah. So here's a weird question out of left field. And I agree with everything you said.
It's good. I don't want to come off bad.
No, but I totally get that because it's good. It's just not. Well, before I say that, my question to you is, and to the fans listening is, if Tool would have given us this album 12 years ago, 11 years ago, how would we feel about it?
I don't know.
Would we feel, at least with the song, would we feel like, okay, Tool is just going to continue on doing what they're doing?
Yeah.
Or do we feel like, okay, they're just going to, go in a different direction or whatever?
I don't feel there's a different direction.
I see it as this is just one song, that this is who we are now. And, maybe Tool isn't that, complicated and diverse because it sounds very similar to 10,000 Days. So what's going on, Or maybe, I don't know. When does this album come out again? Next week?
August 30th, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So for all we know, we're talking shit, and then everything they release,
it's going to
be different. But if their idea of, release this so we can show people what the new album will look like, and the album hopefully is nothing like the song, then it's just one big,
fuck you.
Like here's what we have. We chose this song because it's the most complicated and most Tool-y of all. Maybe they're playing it safe. For all we know, I hope not. Because the fans deserve more.
Right,
the fans deserve so much more.
I think that's my baggage with it.
Yeah.
That's my gripe with it. Is because of that baggage.
Yeah, so that's my take on it. It is definitely the big hit. People are talking about it everywhere.
Yeah,
dudes over 40 are going crazy right now. Probably played it to their kids, to their grandkids. Just blasting.
Dude, to some kids, this is their first Tool song that they're hearing.
Well, okay, so that's a really good thing that you said. What do you think about this song, right? Being the first Tool song you've ever heard in your life? Well, what do you think will happen? Would it turn you off of Tool? Would you want to explore more Tool? Because there's a lot of hype with this band. There's people that wear the shirts and have no idea, what the band even is.
No, I think this is a horrible song to introduce.
I think this turns so many people off, man.
Right. This song is for Tool fans because you already know what they sound like, know what they've evolved to.
You know what they can do.
Right, and know the duration of a song.
Yeah.
But with time. You introduce someone to this, they're going to be like, what the fuck is this?
Why would you make me sit through a 10 and a half minute song?
Right.
That only peaks after, 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it decrescendos all the way down again.
Right. And then crescendos in the last minute.
That
breakdown in the last minute is fucking
it's
cool.
Great. There's a lot of really good, parts to this song.
Right.
Makes
the
me
percussion.
Happy.
Basically, everyone is doing good. Like they're all doing a good job.
Yeah.
Danny Carey, Adam Jones, Manu Key, everyone's doing great at the respective instrument and the respective job within the band as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the band as a whole, summarized, is lackluster.
It's not the best foot forward after 13 years.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of expectations.
Because it feels like it's the same foot. That's the difference.
That's the thing. Well, with that, unless you have anything else, Kevin.
No, I'm good. We can move on to our picks.
I'll tell you something else. There's another band in the mist that has also been around for a long time, not as long as Tool, but or maybe as long as Tool, that has continued to make new music and has continued to shock us with overwhelming and overcoming controversy and all this crap and getting back together.
God damn it! Now I already know.
And just going through these 94 painful hours. And it just all these and just go through all the struggle, Kevin. And of course I'm talking about As I Lay Dying, and that is my chunk of choice for this week. But the reason why, and just before I get into
the parallels,
I have to vote. Yeah, bro. I think, yeah, that's good. But here's the thing with As I Lay Dying. Before I get into this new song, "Shaped by Fire," that just came out with like a week ago.
Are you gonna count this as your chugs of choice?
This is definitely my chug of choice.
Okay, so we really are getting to our picks, guys.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Before anyone else that may be a new listener, probably confused.
Picks is
something heavy, so we call it our chugs of choice. Something soft, so we call that our melee at the moment. And then our wild card is whatever the fuck we want. Tends to be literally anything outside the box of what is metalcore and hardcore and all this stuff. And then later on, after our picks, we'll get into a review of Slipknot, We Are Not Your Kind. So, of course, as Felix has been alluding to, not so heavy-handedly, As I Lay Dying is your chugs of choice.
Yeah, exactly. So here's my thing with As I Lay Dying, man. As I Lay Dying, for the most part, has remained, they've been a pivotal, band for a lot of newcoming and even, bands that have been around for like 5-6 years.
Yeah, they were the pioneers. Somebody who said the godfathers of metalcore. And they've been there through every iteration of it.
Yeah, and always overcome all of the all different phases of metalcore. And here's the thing, man. With this song, "Shaped by Fire," I'm going to pull it up really quick. With this song, just like Tool, it was almost like I'm picking up where I left off with As I Lay Dying. They had the single earlier this year, through My Own Grave, right? Yeah. Which was
great. That was last year. My Own Grave was last year.
Shit, that was a year ago already?
Yeah, and then the one earlier this year was Undefined.
Yeah, okay.
Redefined.
So it's essentially the same thing applies to all three of these songs. It's like I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, intense. Mm-hmm. Melodic death metalcore.
Yeah, with a really solid intro. Yeah. Very melodic, crescendoing from the start, from the beginning, whatever. Yeah. Really heavy vocals, amazing guitar work, good drumming, a breakdown, and then conclusion.
And then and then that in the middle, that bridge that is like a signature of that.
Bro, and they do it so well.
Yeah.
And it comes out of you by surprise if you don't know what to look for. It's only like 15, 30 seconds. And it's like, whoa, and then right back to everything you know.
It's like a really intense roller coaster ride.
Exactly. But here's the thing. With this song in particular, the other two songs were great. With "Shaped by Fire," first of all, Tim's vocals are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
And you can see this guy, all bullshit aside, everything that happened aside, you can see his vocal ranges just go from good to better to really good to almost godlike.
Yeah.
And in this arena, I'll be completely fair with you. There's been songs, my favorite one without clean vocals is Anodyne C. Okay. And that's a while back. That's almost like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
But it has no clean vocals.
Yeah, that was on Parlous Rise.
That was exactly.
I love that album.
It's a great album. But no clean vocals. It's just Tim and just the band just backing him up. I love that when they do it because it's warranted. They do that in a couple of songs. I can't think of them on top of my head in their previous albums, but I almost wish they didn't do it in this song. Now, that's my only gripe with it. Everything else is amazing. Yeah. The way they introduced Tim's vocals in the beginning, the constant, melody all the way around through, the really big chugs everywhere.
Dude, it's so intense. Like the song is very such an intense
because
song.
You already know As I Lay Dying can be intense, but this is like this is after the burial type of intense. Yeah. You know what I mean? But because even though they're similar bands, they're not in the same conversation.
No, man.
They're
not in the same strategy
at all. They're rock, and then that's great. But the way that Tim is just going and presenting the vocals, and it seems to me like it's going to be an ongoing thing. Mm-hmm. It's really appealing to me, and I'm sure it is to a lot of current and previous As I Lay Dying fans, and hopefully future As I Lay Dying fans, of how strong, and not to mention like the dude is buff as shit.
That dude is,
but his voice
just came out of prison.
Dude, his voice is just killer.
Yeah,
killer.
He sounds like a monster and looks it.
Fucking acts like it from what I hear. But that's my sugar choice, Kevin. I want to hear your take on it because
I agree with everything, and I was adding my little tidbits throughout what you were saying. To me, the best way to summarize that. This is metalcore, and these guys are fucking back, man. They brought back the intensity that metalcore deserves. And then I love how the clean vocals, maybe maybe we're on opposite camps on the clean vocals. I actually don't mind that the clean vocals are on here because they almost, instead of boggling down the intensity, they almost add to it. In my personal opinion,
I don't know his name. The bassist does a really good job at being a singer.
Yes,
he is a good singer.
Right.
So he does the distortion high pitches, which go with the crescendoing melody at each of the peaks.
Right. To me, that's the point.
It works.
To me, that's the point. He follows the melody. To the notes, to the T.
Exactly. And there's nothing off about it.
So the cleans, in my opinion, add life, even more life to this super fucking intense song.
Yeah.
And then with the single came the announcement of their album coming out September 20th.
Okay.
Also by the same title, Shaped by Fire.
Shaped by Fire. Okay.
Dude,
hey, man, I'm excited.
I can't fucking wait for this fucking
That's going to be good. When was their last one? 2000 which was pretty good.
Yeah.
If you ask me. I really liked it. That was 2011?
Maybe.
I think that sounds about right.
Maybe.
Because then came the whole controversy. And we actually, Kevin and I, were going to see them with Killswitch Engaged around that time. Well, what year did it come out, Kevin? 2011?
2012.
2012, or more or less. We were going to see them when they were touring for this album. And we were going to see them with Killswitch. And in the middle, this whole controversy that was going on, they obviously dropped out of the lineup, and we sat in front of the drummer. I remember we stood in front of the drummer. And I could tell because of his fucking mustache.
Yeah,
I was like, "Is that the fucking? Is this the drummer?"
Yeah, that was the drummer. I was like, "That." Yeah, I remember.
It was pretty sweet. And then Killswitch, by the way, just real quick plug, they played an amazing show that day.
Yeah,
and we didn't even have to use a countdown, so it was great.
No countdown for Killswitch.
No countdown required. All right, so that was "Shaped by Fire" by As I Lay Dying.
Which was your choice.
Which was my choice of choice. Kevin, take it away. What's your choice?
So my choice of choice is, of course, an Australian band.
Yo, that's awesome.
And it's, to me, it's really, really rare for a band that I've never heard of, that for me to come across, like it's all the pieces lined up perfectly together of like, they met the Kevin algorithm and they blew me the fuck away with this fucking song. So this Australian band called Make Way for Man. Already, I can't stand that fucking name.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's so strange, and it's actually featuring the singer of oh my god, from Make Them Suffer, also from
okay.
Damn, I think it's Sean. Oh my god, whatever. So the song is Ideations. Yeah, this song fucking slaps.
Yeah.
It ripped me to shreds hearing this fucking song. So immediately when you hear the fucking song and you hear the dun 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 dun, that it screams genty metalcore, and then you hear double vocalists. And I know a lot of people have those hot takes of like, that's just stupid, or the even dumber takes of like, oh, Linkin Park does that shit. No, man, people have had dual vocalists for fucking years.
Yeah, look at volumes.
What's been kind of newer in the past maybe decade and a half or so is dual screamers.
Yeah.
Where you have a guttural hitting the lows and then the higher one hitting the high pitch screams and whatnot. This band has both, and then the high pitch one also does a bit of cleans. They sound a little off, so maybe that's the one area I'd say that's my one gripe that they could continue working on. But everything fucking else, this band fucking killed it for me, man. On all cylinders, they fired.
Yeah.
The bass slaps, the fucking breakdown, that bridge that leads into the Sean from Make Them Suffer. His screams are fucking incredible, man. They're like the cherry on top on this fucking song, Ideations by Make Way for Man. And this band, slapping that bass and that guitar to that dirty ass guitar tone that sounds, of course, like from that corner of metalcore, that genty metalcore, harkens back to it reminds me of Fell Silent, because I don't think you got into Gent, Felix, that early as I did.
No,
I think you got in later.
When it was popular.
Yeah, so Monuments.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's James Brown. I think it's Jake Brown. He was previously in Fell Silent. He was previously in Fell Silent, and it was also dual vocals. Mm-hmm. Infamously known, Greg and Nima. They were these levels of good screams. And it's crazy how listening to this, and I think you even see it if you're on the YouTube.
Yeah.
If you scroll down, you see my comment, and I'm one of the topper ones. And it's me saying, I'm like, is this fell silent? Either way, I dig this shit. And it's fucking awesome, man. That crazy, genty breakdown. Well, the whole song is fucking gent. But that, like, messy breakdown with that crazy guitar tone. It's nothing else could have fired on all cylinders quite like something like this for me, man.
Yeah.
But you're listening to it now. What do you think?
I love every single bit of it. I love how intense it is. The dual vocals, I know that some people are a little thrown off by it.
Right.
I got used to it. I got used to it because Linkin Park, yeah, fine, whatever. But I got used to it when I started seeing Born of Osiris do it with the keyboardist. I started seeing Volumes do it. And I was like, and Volumes do it not only with their recent lineup, but just how they started. That was like the whole thing with wormholes and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what, I got introduced to it early enough to be like, doesn't faze me anymore.
It sucks that you never got into full silence so early.
Right.
Like really early gent.
But I will tell you this. This takes gent. And again, this is their version of gent, which is great.
Yeah.
I've heard gent as jazz.
Yeah. And it's awesome.
And it's great. But this is their version of gent. And I love every bit of it. It almost reminds me of Betraying the Martyrs.
Okay.
But a lot better and obviously like a lot gentier.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll disagree with you is on the clean vocals. I think they're pretty perfect for them.
Yeah, for what they are. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the one thing I could say, like, it's the minorest gripe I have that they could work on. I feel like it could be, it's borderline singing, and like, he kind of sounds like he's just talking. That's where it bothers me.
Right.
If he sang it better, maybe he's not that good of a singer, he's just good at the high pitched screams. Yeah. I don't know.
But I think the high pitched screams is what takes them like to another level because everything else is so dropped low. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love just how heavy and bass oriented it is. And it doesn't take a rocket science to put this together. No. It just takes vision and your twist on, whatever's going on. So I really appreciate when a band takes something that's so simple as, not saying gent is super simple, but the idea of gent is fairly simple. Right. And they put their take on it that it makes them not sound so generic. So no. I really appreciate that. And, I thought this was great.
I'm glad you liked it. And I thought you would have liked it. So let's move on. So what's your melody at the moment?
So my melody at the moment, I kind of cheated today, Kevin. I am going to give it to the Contortionist. They have
you're not going to hear anything from me about cheating.
Dude, so this is the EP that came out on Friday, I believe. And it has 4 songs, one of which being a cover from Smashing Pumpkins. But it's Contortionist. So what you're going to get from the Contortionist is exactly
the Our Bones EP.
The Our Bones EP. Sorry about that. The Our Bones EP. My favorite song doesn't trump all the other songs. That's how good I really enjoyed, how much I enjoyed this EP. You have Follow, you have Early Grave, which we've done a review on, and then you have All Gray, and then the Smashing Pumpkins cover of 1979. So I love every part of all of these songs so much to the point that there's no reason for me to not, not continue to listen to it. This isn't the Contortionist, and this is something that I realized when I was listening to it. This isn't the Contortionist that they used to be.
Oh, of course.
And it's warm to see that. I love Exoplanet, and I love all those other things too, but they're never going to be that. Right. And I came to that realization with Reimagined. I get it. Or not Reimagined, sorry, Clairvoyant.
Intuition.
The last one was Intuition?
Language,
sorry.
My bad.
I understand
no, that's not even the last one.
But
no, because Language was the first one with the newest singer, Michael Lesnar.
Right, but even then, during
was,
Language...
oh my God.
The Clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant, yeah, you're right.
But even then, Language was a stamp on, like, hey, we're not doing this anymore.
Right, like, this is the new direction.
This is the new direction. and I love it. I love what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
But fuck, don't I get like little itches of like, damn, I wish I could get like Flotus more.
Yeah.
You know, more of that like chaotic vibe. It's never gonna happen, and I'm alright with that. I can admit it. But the song Follow gives you a glimpse of the band wanting to do that a little bit. You know what I mean? Because all the other ones in Clairvoyant, you know, with Language, they had a bit of overlap. Like, this is the new direction, but this is a little bit of what we have because Language 2 had some hard parts to it. You know, but Reimagined, Clairvoyant was fairly slow.
Yeah.
And very
to me, they really, really like a head-on embrace prog rock.
Yeah.
And I think I've said it.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was like on a show that I brought up something from the past or just to you in person, Felix. But I think they literally sound like what Cynic literally became, which is a really old school prog rock band. Mm. And I think now it's like, bro, they're really embracing that.
Yeah.
Where then now they even have this EP called Our Bones, and then Cynic has a song called Them Bones. I think it's Them Bones. Okay. I can't remember. It's a song on an EP that it teases little harder parts. Also like Contortions, harkening back to a heavier time.
Yeah, man. So
to me, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's funny that I brought that up and you compared it. But look, that's my take on it. I highly suggest that everyone listens to it. Follow's my favorite, even though I swore to the grave, that early Grave was going to be my favorite. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's a strong runner-up. But there's something about the song Follow that really brings me back to what the band used to be. It's almost like a perfect marriage. And it kind of tells you, like, hey, it's going to be okay, but this is what we're doing.
Yeah, like that's the same guys, but they've matured.
Yeah.
I completely agree. What did you think about the cover?
I thought it was I'm glad that they're taking a break of all the space shit and not having, or at least for a prog band, you know, not have it to be always like space centered or these huge like blocks and, you know, with like a fucking like Saturn in the background or something. This is simple. It's nice and black and it's very like almost poetic of a picture, you know, if you ask me.
God damn it. I just understood where you misunderstood. I meant the cover. The cover song, the fucking
Oh man! Well, I really like.
I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
What are you talking about?
Yeah, my bad. That was my word.
The Smashing Pumpkins. I liked it.
I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was like, "Why?" Because I can't stand when metal bands do covers of something soft. Yeah. But it's like, you know what? Contortions is kind of soft, you know, prog rock, whatever. And then I like the way they approach the song. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, they've made it their own.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. And it's weird how I kept finding myself going back to that song.
Really?
And I was like, why am I listening to this one more? It's weird.
Yeah.
So I can't honestly say it's my favorite. Like you, I really like Follow. I really like Early Grave. I've warmed up to All Grey.
That one takes a few times. So.
But man, the 1979 Smashing Pumpkins cover, I really fucking dig it, man. There's something about it that like, They did the song, but they left their thumbprint on it, their fingerprint on it, and I really dig it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. So, what'd you think? Or anything else you want to add to it, Kevin?
No, I completely agree with you. It's exactly what you said. That almost the same thing as like the Tool single. It doesn't really feel like they're moving forward. It's kind of like a unilateral step of like, hey, we're still sounding like Clairvoyant, but we're going to play around with a few things. So they played around with like a cover song. They played around teasing us with a few heavier parts, like in the song Follow and stuff like that. But it still sounds like the same band that they've matured as you know, musicians. So it just gets me more hyped for what are they planning for a full release? Yeah. That they're giving us this, and it's like,
and this is already good. Yeah.
I can't wait, man. But you already know I fucking love Contortions.
Dude, me too.
And I've been with them since Exoplanet.
Yeah,
and I seen them with that singer, with John Carpenter.
Yeah, I have too. Oh no, I haven't.
No, because we saw them together already with Michael Leslie.
And when they played Flotus, whoa,
Flourish.
Flourish. Whoa. All right. So Kevin, what's your melody at the moment?
My melody at the moment, I take a hard turn.
Of course.
So, but of course, because like I always think of when I think of melodies, I always diverge from. I I know. I think sometimes you tend to go for like a metalcore that has a clean singing, or hardcore punk and somewhat. So I try to get to like alternative rock, post-hardcore, something poppier. But just because my definition of metal at the moment is something that I cannot get out of my fucking head.
Okay.
And it's funny how like I didn't want to choose this song, "Sleep Talk" by
Dayseeker.
Yes, by Dayseeker. And it's funny because Dayseeker sounded familiar to me, but I'm like, I can't pinpoint what it is. But I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna judge the song on in itself. And again, I kept not wanting to choose it, but I would find myself humming that fucking chorus, man, humming that melody, and just that the way his like singing shout just like blares through your earphones or your speakers. It's just it's so memorable, man. And it's like a minor gripe where that chorus is kind of repeated too often, though, where it becomes downright too cheesy. Because I think the song is like, 4 minutes, 3.5?
3.5.
Yeah. So it's a little too long for something so simple.
Yeah.
If it's just that simple, like bubblegum, poppy, pop punk, post-hardcore, and the whole song is just a melody, bridge, chorus, and then verse, chorus. So it does the chorus way too often for something that goes over 3 minutes, but it's so entertaining, man.
It is entertaining.
It's a head bobber. It's a toe tapper. I can't get the melody out of my head. I can't get the chorus out of my head. This is one of those that, you play in the car with your girl, and of course the fiance Val, she loved it. She's like, "What is this? Who is this?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know if the rest of their music is good,
right?
But this song is
pretty
really
fire,
good, and this is their new single off of an upcoming album. So maybe other shit is better than this, because it does really bother me how simple it is, but it's just way too long. But I do really dig it. So I know you're listening to it now, Felix. What are you thinking of Dayseeker's Sleep Talk?
I see the potential the singer has.
Yeah.
I don't like the band.
Okay.
And the reason why is because it's so the singer has a lot of he has a lot dynamic.
Yeah.
He has a lot of range.
Right.
They're not using it.
Because I don't know. He does this like shout. He does like almost like a hardcore shout, and then he can crescendo until it's like poppy singing.
Yeah, and you know what? In any other band, I would take it, but there's nothing. There's no story to the song. There's no, and it's good for what it is. Poppy. Whatever. I'm sure Val liked it. It's a great, song for a brief little, hey, this is rock music or whatever.
Right.
But there's something about the singer that really stands out to me that reminds me of, someone that if you place him in a different atmosphere, he resembles early Emarosa.
Okay.
And to me, that's one of the best
Johnny Craig
compliments.
Emarosa?
Yeah, exactly. B&E, Bringing and Entering Emarosa.
He's now doing R&B. I think I sent it to you.
Yeah, I think I heard it. Which I don't remember what I thought of it. That was years ago. But anyway, that's my take on it. Like, I think if the singer were to be in a different, or maybe that's unfair. If the band were to try something a little bit more technical, and I'm not saying hugely technical, but there was nothing that stood out about the way they were playing their instruments.
Right, I get what you mean. Like, he's so good, he stands out in a band that it doesn't compliment him.
Right. At least, a little bit of guitar work, a little bit more, harmonies.
Yeah, because the way they're approaching it is as if it is a pop song. Well, pop song that the first and foremost at the front is just the singing. So it's all about the lyrics. It's all about the chorus. And it's true where the band is just like an afterthought. And I kind of get where you're coming from now. Like, the band feels here like an afterthought. There's not much to the music.
Exactly. Almost like, if Elliot Coleman, from Good Tiger and all this, if he were to just make his own little band or whatever, it's just centered on his vocals and his music. He's a great range, a great singer.
Right.
You're gonna tell when the band is just like, this is the lyrics, this is the chorus or whatever. Put in some drums, put in some guitar, and that's
right, like just background.
You're gonna tell, and unfortunately, that brings the overall grade of the song or album down a few levels, to me at least.
Yeah, I get
because
it.
It feels less authentic and more just, it just doesn't feel like a real band to me.
I get you.
So that was my only gripe with it.
Hopefully, the upcoming band, because I am going to check out more, because again, there's only one song.
Exactly.
I'll check out more. Hopefully, the rest is not as poppy, or hopefully it's not as simple.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or hey, hopefully they take a left turn or a K turn, and it's something different, because every band is allowed to have a poppy little ballad or whatever.
Right. Hopefully it could be their ballad. Yeah. Right.
Hopefully it's something else. So that I'd be willing to talk about.
No. So we're more or less on the same page. Yeah. But I guess in this little seesaw we have for this song, I enjoy it a little bit more. That was again Dayseeker, the song "Sleep Talk," their first single for an upcoming new album. I guess just titled "Sleep Talk." So Felix, tell me, what was your wild card?
So my wild card for this week was an Australian band. So I mean, I really think we should visit the land down under, man. Because
for real, man,
there's a lot of really good stuff happening in Australia. But this band is called The Chats. Now, this is a wild card. Last week I had Too Many Zoos, and there was just a 3-piece, instrumental band. This band is called The Chats.
Also 3-piece.
Also 3-piece. The most simple guitar drumming and bass work. The most simple guitar work, simple vocals, dumb lyrics that are just fun and cool to chant or whatever. But you don't get this type of music anymore.
No, man.
No one makes it.
It's this 3-piece garage punk band.
I love it. And you can tell in the quality, even in the music videos, the dudes are just funny. They're a bunch of funny fucking dudes that make decent music. But here's the thing. It's not always about the quality of music that you make.
Right.
If you have a solid, performance, if you have a solid, because look, Static X was an amazing band, right? But out of the 2 hours that you see them playing, shit sounds repetitive.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But they put on a show to make up for it. Similar can be said for The Chats. No one makes this type of music anymore. The punk, as you know it, because this is what punk really was back in the 70s and 80s.
Right. It really wasn't about the music. It was just about
attitude. Was just the attitude, fuck it or whatever. So the song that I picked this week was by The Chats, was called Identity Theft. They just released a music video for it. Came out not that long ago.
It's really cheesy on the nose.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think it's probably going to get. Yeah,
super cheeky lyrics.
But dude, I've always liked punk. I was a big fan of Rancid. I love Pennywise. Right. Sex Pistols and the Ramones. I can go really way back. But
that's what this harkens back to.
Yeah, it all goes back to the foundation.
It sounds like early 80s punk.
Yeah. Like bad.
Clash.
Exactly.
It reminds me a lot of Clash.
Yeah. So it's just brick pop, not even pop punk, just Brit punk with, good little harmonies or whatever, but just simply made. And what I like about this is that there's no room to hide. When you have something so simple, you can't hide. If you suck, you suck.
Yeah.
But they made it work, man, because you can't hide, as much as I love prog rock and gent, you can't hide under the synths. You can't hide under the slapping and the overly distorted guitars. This is, as simple as it can be. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. Kevin, what'd you think of it?
I loved it.
You thought it was cool?
I did not expect that. As soon as it started playing, I'm like, what the fuck
did Felix...
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck did Felix fucking choose? I'm like, what the fuck is... And as soon as I was like, identity theft. I was like... I found myself really bobbing my head to it. And I was like, all right, let me play that again.
It was only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Bro. I fucking love that.
I love it when a band and a song knows itself.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is all that we got, and this is all we're going to be here for. Mm. So it's like, man, those 2 minutes, I was like, that was fun. Let me play that shit again.
And all their songs are like that. All their songs are 2 minutes. They all have Australian, slang. The one's called smoko. And I guess that's what they're saying. That's their thing of I'm on my smoke break. I'm on my smoko.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's their thing. They're just Australian as fuck. One is called, I think it's called Pub Eats or whatever. Then the whole song, it's kind of like Suicidal Tendencies almost. Okay. The way he talks, it's just like, oh, I fucking wanted a Pepsi. Yeah. I go and I got a Pepsi. That's it. I wanted a smoke break. I got a smoko.
I love that. It's just sometimes it's just about life and music is just about mundane shit.
Yeah. That's simple. But Kevin, what's your wild card this
I love it. My wild card, I went my usual thing of if I don't go outside the box, I just choose a fucking album. So I chose this melodic post-hardcore band Acres. That I think I've talked about. Yeah, I have talked about on the podcast before. Their album finally came out, Lonely World, which I was really looking forward to after like 3 or 4 singles in, by like the 4th or 5th one. I was like, yo, just give me the fucking album already. I already like you. Give it to me or whatever. And then I think I've already described it to you that it's a really atmospheric, super melodic hardcore band where they have slow hardcore tendencies, but it's melodic and harmonic enough that it's like, oh, I could sing along to this too. And the singer almost just barely screams. When he does scream, it sounds good, but I think now as a whole on an album, outside of the singles, there are some areas where it's really jarring. It's like, wait, why did you scream in that section? So it's really random in some songs. So the screaming works where it crescendos, it makes sense. Well, it's forward moving, that we're going somewhere. So on the album as a whole, it's like, wow, I've seen like when you look at a map and you're not following a road, you see the map as a whole, you see, okay, it's cohesive, it makes sense. I see what they were going for. Maybe certain stops I didn't like, but man, this album really worked for me. But now, the problem as a whole, it's one of those, like, it's a mood, man.
Yeah.
For me to go back and listen to that whole album again, it's a mood. I'm gonna go back and listen to Lonely World, Medicine. What was one of the other bigger ones?
In Sickness and in Health.
Talking in Your Sleep. Talking in Your Sleep is fucking awesome, man. I think Talking in Your Sleep, I'm stuck between Talking in Your Sleep and Medicine. I think one of those, that's like summarizes the band best, because it's that crazy melody that sounds like a wave, like a water wave crashing over this like hardcore alternative rock music. It's like someone, let's say, went back in time, got like mid-era Thrice, brought them to a studio today in 2019, and they're like, all right, this is what modern, melodic hardcore bands are sounding like now. Do your own thing. So it's like as if Thrice, with that mindset of the mid-era of like, post Artists in the Ambulance, maybe that era. And it's like, oh, okay. And then they made their own version of what modern day melodic hardcore bands do. Because there's areas where it's like, wait, that's weird. Why did he scream? Oh, like, why is there gang vocals in like a really melodic part? Yeah. So there's certain like really dated choices, but I really dug it because it sounded cool.
Right. Also different than what everyone else is doing.
Yes, it's really, to me, it's so different because bands are not doing this atmosphere and then a melody and then a solo. It's weird. You really, really have to be like us, really into genre making music, really into niches and knowing what trends are going on like per the months. And it's like right now, no one is doing that.
Right.
Maybe next month they're gonna be like, "Yo, Acres did this.
That shit works. Let's try it."
It works. And every time they did a new single, it was always like you mentioned the YouTube channel, not record label, Dreambound.
Yeah.
All their singles were premiered there. All their singles did great on that channel. The comments were always like, "Oh my God, they're at it again!" Like, "Oh guys, we got a new Acres," or whatever. So they hit huge waves on that channel. So this album, a lot of people were really looking for that, and you could tell that the community was really backing this band as a whole. So they were doing something right, even though I don't agree with all the choices, because a lot of it is really jarring, a lot of it is really weird. A lot of songs are really booty, like Lullaby and Be Alone. Mm-hmm. So to the point that, like, if let's say I go show you this album, Felix, I'm going to be like, yo, skip that one, just listen to this. Okay, are you liking that? Okay, let's go next level. Now listen to this song. Let's get you into this song. So it's like an album that's layered, maybe too much. So that's, to me, it's like its advantage is probably a problem.
Yeah.
That it's hard to break through if you're not already a fan of that kind of niche.
Right.
So now you're listening to it now. What are you thinking of it?
I am definitely going to take this home. I'm going to take this one home.
Cool.
Listen to it more because, I'll be honest. When I listened to Lonely World, thought it was a little generic.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
That's like one of the more ballady ones.
I see where this is going.
You had to start with like Medicine.
Yeah, okay.
Or Talking in Your Sleep.
But here's the thing. Lonely World caught my attention.
Right, because it's still good.
Yeah, so I saw, like, I was in hearing it, I was thinking, all right, well, if they're able to do this and be so atmospheric and be so,
abrasive sometimes.
Yeah, and abrasive with their breakdown and
really in the end, that's right.
It's like, hold on, they have some capabilities in this band that maybe they're not showing me here.
Right.
So that's why I want to take this home and like dissect it a little bit and see, but I think I'm gonna like that. That's
what I like is it in an area where breakdowns are so prevalent, in a time where choruses are overwhelming us now.
Yeah,
it's like they got the balance of both worlds. And again, maybe at some songs the scale went towards one maybe too much than what the song warranted. But I still think like, they swung for the fences, and to me they hit some home runs.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's just some are moods.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, I'm in the mood for Lullaby. I'm in the mood for her.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm listening to a song as a whole, or the album as a whole, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood for this. I want to go to Medicine. I want to go to Talking in Your Sleep. I want to go to, what was the other one? Lonely World, the one that you even mentioned. Whatever. Skin Over Mine is another good one.
Yeah.
Skin Over Mine is another really good one. And I know that's one that you were like, because it's a more, not punkier, more hardcore. So yeah, so that was my wild card. That was the album Lonely World by the band Acres. I'm not sure where they're from. I don't know. They're dope. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
They're pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised if they're Australian at this point.
Yeah,
we're fucking, shout out Land Under.
So now we're good.
I know a band that's not from Australia that we want to talk about this.
Right. Yeah. Now away from our picks and finally on to our album review.
A little band from Iowa.
And it's funny starting the podcast today with a band that's been around for so long, and through our formative years as listening to metal and rock in general, and now we're going to be reviewing fucking Slipknot 2019.
2019. Who would have thought?
For real. I honestly, I would have told you that would have happened on our podcast.
No way. I would have thought, no, you're full of shit. I don't want to review this. But here we are. And
so this is Slipknot, We Are Your Kind. Their what, fifth album?
We Are Not Your Kind. We Are Not Your Kind.
This is their fifth or sixth album.
I think studio album. Let's see. No, my friend. You got their self-titled. You got Iowa, Volume 3, All Hope Is Gone.
And then the Great Chapters.
And then Great Chapters.
Yeah, so this is their sixth.
This is their sixth.
So now you gotta answer me this question. Do they still got it? Even though we kind of already know, because we've talked about plenty of singles on the podcast.
Yeah.
But now it's just like the analogy I said with Acres. The Slipknot, now looking on the We Are Not Your Kind, on the map, and you saw all the roads taken. Do you like the map that you saw?
Will I take that journey using that map? No.
Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, no. And here's why. I've been in this game for way too long, I've been a fan of this music for way too long to know when something is what I want. Mm-hmm. Like, you're your own palette. Like, I know what I want. My beef with this album, and they had us on the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like that meme?
Yeah, like the meme.
Unsainted was great. Unsainted, I was like, all right, they're faster and good, because All Hope Is Gone was so fucking slow that it's like, dude, I don't know why you're doing this, but stop it, because you need to pick up the pace a little bit.
And then they killed us with So Way First. They were like,
yes.
I
was like, dude, all right, fuck, they still got it. They're gonna do it or whatever. And then this came on Friday. I was really excited to jump on. I was excited to do the podcast. I gave it more of a fair shot than I should have, and I was disappointed, man. Yeah. I was disappointed because it was All Hope Is Gone.
Done better.
Yeah, like All Hope Is Gone should have been after this one.
Right.
And this should have been,
right.
This should have been their...
If that was the direction they were heading towards, it should have come after.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and I might, when I figured this out, I finally, I was shocked because I put words to my emotions. They were, again, so, like, almost dipping their feet in the water, not jumping in with how fast they should be. And I don't know why they want to do this. Like, they want to go away from thrash, but thrash is what made them. You know, like this.
Yeah, the thrashy nu metal.
Yeah, and I understand that you're in a different atmosphere, that you're in nu metal, and you know, no one sounds like Slipknot really. Like,
no,
that's their own thing.
Plenty of people tried and failed.
Yeah, fucking Mudvayne. You know, they're not crawling anymore. I'll tell you that. So, with that said, it's like they have the freedom to do whatever it is they want to do. I'll give them that. You can do whatever it is you want to do. People are still gonna love you.
Right. People are gonna still listen to your album and still gonna buy some of your.
And we're still talking about
it.
But you know, look, I'll be honest. One thing that I really enjoyed was the quality and the thought of the interludes. I think they were very well placed. You know, I didn't like, unlike you. I'm sure you just played it and shuffled or whatever. I listened to it, you know, straight through, just because I knew that they were going to do something like that. Because they have more money than Volume 3. Right. They want to do more stuff. You know, it's more anticipated. So the interludes were nice. They kind of navigated you through the album. But shit, was it like a shitty destination? You know what I mean? Like, you got there and it's like, Unsainted is the second song.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you would think, like, all right, cool, I know this song. I immediately skipped it because I know I liked it.
Right.
I want to know something else. And then they had, let me just pull it up here. And then they had Birth of the Cruel Shit.
That was the last single.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I dug it. I didn't love it.
I didn't love it.
To me, I'm like, okay, cool, this is your Before I Forget. That's how I treated it.
Yeah, and then Unsainted was Duality.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Remind me of like, what's the one from Iowa? Heretic Anthem.
Yeah, a little bit. But here's the thing. We're referring all these to Volume 3. Well, most. Not all.
An amalgamation of Volume 3.
Yeah, it's like Volume 3 because that's what I'm getting. It's the same interludes or similar interludes. The vocals, I mean, it's Corey Taylor doing what he does best. But it's just an atmospheric type of like vibe that it's almost identical from Volume 3. I think, to be completely honest, Volume 3 is what they want. They want a Volume 4. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But Volume 3 was so impressionable, and it had the best qualities of all of Slipknot put into one. You know?
And a more matured
in a very, very matured approach, a very strategic approach. But it had it all together.
Because that's a peak that Slipknot has not been able to repeat.
At all. And that's their downfall.
You know, they're one of those fucking bands that call a nickname for their fans. Mm-hmm. So they call them maggots.
Oh, that's right.
But the hardcore maggots. And I remember there was a time that I considered myself a maggot, especially in middle school, where I was a really impressionable teen and I was like, I want heavy. I want aggression. I wanted a repeat of Iowa. I wanted a repeat of the
You and everyone else did.
Right. No, it's never going to happen.
Nope.
And all hope is gone, and We Are Not Your Kind have proven is they're never going to go back to that.
Never. It's never.
They're always going to now maybe mine elements of Iowa, elements of Volume 3, and it's funny how this one solidifies. They are trying to go back to Volume 3.
They really want to do it,
which is funny.
It's almost like it's a good and bad thing because you've been around. You live long enough to see yourself become the hero. Or
no, you die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
They're influencing their new sound based off their old sound.
Yeah,
you know, how much of a mindfuck is that?
Like what we were just saying at the top of like, no one sounds like Slipknot, but bands have tried and failed. They're becoming a band that's tried and failed
to sound like Slipknot. You know, and that's them. Like that's their style,
right?
And I guess they tried so hard, or maybe it was effortlessly before. I will say this. They were all on a lot of drugs. They were all over the fucking place. Like I saw a couple documentaries. It was pretty nasty. So, you know, now the band doesn't seem like it's like that, and that's great.
You're right. They're all dads.
Exactly. They're all older. But, you know, look, my only one that I saw that was somewhat respectable, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this, was the song Red Flag.
Yes.
That's the only one that I saw.
To me, that belongs in Iowa.
Yeah. That's the only one. And with like the catchy little intro, I was like, all right, cool. But then it's just quick.
Yeah.
It's just quick.
It was always momentum.
Boom, boom, momentum. That's what Slipknot to me has always wanted to be.
Right.
And it just doesn't feel like they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and not like they wanted to try and fail. I would accept that more. It's just, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. The heaviest you're getting is Unsainted or, what's the other one? The one that's
Sulfur.
Yeah.
Soulway Firth.
Yeah. That's the most you're getting.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Everything else was just noise.
Yeah.
It didn't complement the album. It didn't compliment the band at all.
Yeah, it almost killed momentum.
Yeah, and that's why I really tried to listen to it all the way through. I couldn't because I found myself hating songs.
12 tracks or some shit?
It's 14. Well, interludes and stuff. It's 14.
Right.
An hour of your life. To
me, it's a difficult fucking album to get through, man.
Because it's nothing entices you to stay. Yeah. And songs are like 5-6 minutes long. So that's my hot take on it. I want to hear your thoughts.
No, I'm so happy that we're on the same page.
Yeah, man.
I was so worried that we were going to come into this fucking review and I was going to be the negative one again.
Right.
I was like, bro, I don't want to hate on this fucking album because I enjoy a lot of random songs.
We were looking forward to it.
Besides the ones that we've said, I really like Nero Forte.
Me too.
Nero Forte, to me, I'm like, that's the one I keep when I shuffle. Right. I keep starting with that one.
But here's the thing.
Because it's so good.
Nero Forte had me on the first half again.
Yeah.
It had me in the intro. And then it started progressing and I'm like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, fucking keep it going.
Yeah. Give me the
What are you scared of? It's almost like, what are you scared of?
Right.
To not go full force. Go full throttle, man.
So the one I thought, there's two I really want to emphasize of how different I feel about this album. Orphan. Orphan is possibly one of the longest Slipknot songs that's still heavy. That's not Gently. Mm-hmm. That's not, what's the other one? Circle. That's not any of those longer songs of Slipknot. Yeah. That's like soft and noises and an interlude and a speech and it has like a weird hidden track. No. Cutting all the bullshit. Slipknot songs, fast and aggressive. Orphan is fucking weird. It's long. It's what, 6 minutes? Dude, 6 minutes. And I remember hearing it and I'm like, what is going on in this song? And there's something about it. I'm like, let me hear it again. And it's like, it's something there that as if like Slipknot has been teasing us of like, hey, we kind of want to go in this direction, but no one has liked the songs that goes in those directions. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know what? Do that more. If you want to give me long, meaty songs that crescendo and it feels like there's a theme going, that there's something there,
go for it.
Dude, go for it. Right.
Because you've done that before.
Right.
And you've done that in a manner first of all, that no one's done it before. And you've done that in ways that are 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Right.
The Gently was great, and Gently was at 4 minutes max. All the Vermilion, the two Vermilions.
Right.
They were simple and to the point.
Right.
So do it. By all means, experiment. But if you continue, because nu metal's so goddamn predictable.
Right.
That's one of the things that pisses me off about it. If you're going to continue if you want to go down that road, you're going to be predictable and you're going to do shit like this. You don't have to, because people will follow you regardless. I think there was a lot of hesitation with this.
Right.
There was a lot of hype, and
all the drama because the whole thing of like,
there was a lawsuit, right? Or something like that?
The fucking feud between like James Root and Corey Taylor, and then Chris Fenn, leaving the band and fucking suing them. And then they have two new members because they have like another percussionist and the other drummer and then the bassist guy or whatever. So there was like way too drama to be happening while you're recording a studio fucking album.
Right. So imagine. I'm sure it translates to what we see.
Right. And it sounds like, well, the summary of what we're saying, it sounds like this album is an amalgamation of a shitstorm, and it shows.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Right.
That's not good.
The worst part is like when there was good chemistry going on probably in the studio, it showed on the album.
Yeah.
When there was bad, it also showed on the album.
Absolutely, because All Hope Is Gone was shortly after Paul Gray passed away.
Yeah.
And, it was almost like
was it the last one? I can't remember. Because I know the Gray chapters was like a whole tribute to him.
That was
they went like back to the aggressive stuff, which I really, really dug the Gray chapters.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know what happened there. The production of the Gray chapters sounds so bad. So then now, like you kind of like how it was recorded here. My gripe is, I don't know what the fuck happened. All the drums sound like they were recorded horribly. Everything else sounds fine. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why some songs, like Unsainted, the guitars sound like they're recorded shittily and the drums sound fine. And then in other songs, most of the songs, the drums sound terrible and the guitar sounds fine. So it's like, did you guys, like, was there so much drama? Did some of you guys record separately? Like,
it would have surprised
and again, right, it would have surprised us. And again, if there was drama, then it shows on the album, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
So then, showcasing like Orphans. Now, another problem. Another problem, and I think it's the perfect song that surmises the problem with all the other songs of like What's Next and the fucking Elias Funeral, which I skip every fucking time. The one that surmises those problems, I think, is Spiders. Spiders is a well-written song that should be good if it wasn't a Slipknot song. And I know I already brought up this band, and I know it's strange. If like a garage style, more indie rock band, let's say newer era Thrice or newer band, did a song like this and didn't approach it with their creepy dark carnival themes, trying to be Slipknot.
Yeah.
If you strip that, there's a cool song here.
Yeah, it's a catchy melody.
That again, it's right. It's written well. It's brought together well. But it's then like, oh, we got Slipknot.
We're Slipknot. We have to Slipknot this, you know?
Right, we got Slipknot
because if not, no one's going to want to see the clown anymore. Or the fucking dick nose.
Right.
No one cares.
Right. No one cares
No one gives a shit about your dick nose.
You and I, Felix, we're not 13 years old.
We're not.
We're almost 30.
You unleash new masks. Kiss my ass. Make better music, then I'll care.
Right.
I'll buy the masks, bro. But just, like, make better music. And you don't. It's like you're pussyfooting around making quality content.
Oh.
And there's no excuse at this point because I don't know if they're making new fans, bro.
Right.
Like, I think it's really like people like us in their 30s and 40s talking about them saying, like, this isn't Iowa. Like, I understand it's not Iowa. I get it. But, give me something similar.
It's scary.
I deserve something
It's
similar.
scary because I've talked to like some younger people. Like, so I have like a younger coworker who's 19. He says to his friends, Slipknot is psychosocial, and I'm like, that is an awful.
That's a punch to my nuts,
dude. That's an awful fucking example. And then, in their eyes, they're like excited for this new album after those cool singles, and again, like Soul Firth and Unsainted, and then they hear Birth of the Cruel, which is again, it's a cool song, but it's the Before I Forget of the album.
Right.
And then you hear the rest of the fucking album and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? And again, there are good gems here. Like you and I both agree. Red Flag. I like Orphan. Not Long for This World is okay. To me, it should be the closer. I don't know why Soul Firth is the closer. Soul Firth, if the better songs are in the first half, Soul Firth should be Soul Wafer should be in the first half.
Yeah.
And leave all the garbage in the fucking last half.
Yeah.
So maybe they want to end strong, and that's why it's the last one.
They didn't do anything strong.
But man, everything in the center is garbage. I skip What's Next. I constantly skip Elias Funeral because it's just noises.
Yeah. It's filler.
And again, Spiders. To me, Spiders. That's why it's the example. It aggravates me because it's such a well written song. It's just poorly executed because they Slipknotified it.
Yeah.
And it's like man, why did you do that? If you were just letting the song exist naturally on its own and flourish,
it'll work. It'll surprise you,
right?
Because it would have worked.
And the worst part is like I can't blame Corey for singing too much. I can't blame the drumming being too simple. No, the song, if it warranted that, do it.
Yeah.
But then you have to add the creepy sounds in the background, the weird piano. And again, the piano could have worked,
the
but you made it
catchy.
creepy again.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't
look.
It doesn't warrant that.
Yeah, you put that in the hands of someone that, like you said, maybe indie or maybe even a hint of prog rock in it. Because those motherfuckers know how to play a keyboard.
Right.
You give that into their hands, and they will give you something that maybe doesn't even sound like Slipknot. And it still sounds creepy better. And eerie and better and catchy. And that's the problem. They don't feel the need, and I might be just fucking destroying this is my hot take, but they don't feel the need to reinvent the wheel with their sound. They don't feel the need to say, this is our new direction. They don't care. Like, this is what they are, and this is what we're getting. And you just open your mouth and eat it. And they don't owe us anything. We can always look for new music, look for better music. But when you have this fan base, these maggots or whatever, that at this point, are all growing and listening to other good music that's around there, you're not always going to be the quarterback of the high school.
Right.
There's going to be brand new graduating classes. Everyone's going to get their time to shine. You are starting to fall out if you don't take in a new direction.
Right.
Sooner or later, they're going to be just like Mudvayne, and people are going to forget to remember that band. And it's going to be one of those days that, no one's going to say, hey, you listen to Slipknot or whatever. And like,
I love the hot
a little
take.
bit. But That's my thing. It's a little upsetting.
Yeah,
because both you and I,
because the worst part, it's not a horrible album. It's just there's so much horrible aspects to it.
Yeah, and it's not the direction the band should be taking. But then again, God knows what they're doing. This is a business first,
right,
for them, and that's why sometimes I venture more to bands like the what are they called again? The Australian punk group,
the Chats,
the Chats. Because it's pure, it's them,
right. It's genuine.
It's genuine, and that's it. You have all this crap with the music labels and all this shit, and everyone coming together,
right, pumping a product.
Yeah, it's a product, and I refuse. Everything else is so infused. And I'm sorry, I'm taking up so much airtime.
Yeah,
but everything else is so infused with buy this, sell that, do that. Everything which is being forced down our throats. That music is like I pick it up so quickly that I don't want any part of it.
Right,
because I can tell when something is made good and
inauthentic.
When it's so inauthentic, I taste it.
Yeah.
And as much as I try,
because we've been around it for so long,
you can smell the bullshit from far away.
Yes, we can smell the bullshit.
So if they're really trying, to make something new and make something authentic and say this is Slipknot, we're back. We're I know you loved Iowa and I know Volume 3 in our subtitle. This is something similar. We're never going to be that sound, and I get it, but we're trying our hardest. I'll respect that. I'll listen to it and I'll take it away.
Right.
But this is not that. And I think a lot of people, maybe it was wishful thinking. Everyone kind of wanted that a little bit.
Right.
Because it's a logical next step. Mm-hmm. When you've gone so far, even Metallica kind of tried doing something similar.
Yeah, they've tried to reinvent themselves multiple fucking times.
But they're fucking trying. It doesn't work because it's not there anymore. You know? But they're always going to be a sold out show. Slipknot is always going to be a sold out show.
And it's always going to be an awesome, insane show.
It's always going to be an amazing show. But are they a record producing conglomerate like they were before? I'm starting to think no.
No, right.
They, look, if I was a record executive and if I would be asked to put in $5 million to produce another album, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would because after this, something tells me the amount of people that are going to want to buy or tune into another new Slipknot song after this, it might dwindle because it's just not there anymore. And it's always going to be, a shadow of what the band used to be. And when you told me about your coworker that's 19 and looks up to Sulfur and All Hope Is Gone, that tells you that he's never going to, or people like that are never going to want to, and it happens to me all the time. There's no incentive for them to revisit the self-title. There's no incentive for them to listen to Volume 3 unless it randomly comes up on their show.
When old farts like us show them that.
Yeah, and then even then they'll be like, this is too hardcore.
Yeah.
This is too much. Like, this is too much noise.
I didn't know Slipknot could go that heavy.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
And that's my hot take, man.
So to summarize so we could get out of here, I think the best summary, and I was trying to piece the words together as you were going on your tangent. I heard you and I completely agree with you.
I had to do it.
Which is sad. This is what Slipknot sought out to do was a good Slipknot album, but not a good album.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it shows.
And it was an effort at best.
Right.
Because they are their brand.
Right.
They've become so big that they have to Slipknotify everything they touch. And that's, I want to say like 60% of the problem. Because just like Spiders, just like a lot of the songs that they have on this album, if it were a regular band, they would try different things.
Right. And it would have worked.
Nothing different was tried in this song, in this album. It was a continuation at best from Volume 3 and a couple of influences from Iowa and the self-title. That's it. No one was taking any risks. No one was taking any, anything new or any new influences. Nothing.
It's as if they had the new members join and just like, hey, shut up and play this.
Here's where you play. You want your paycheck? Get the fuck out. Yeah. And everyone's wearing masks, so it's pretty easy to replace. That's the way. All right,
so that was our hot take. Disappointing at most, but hey, there are some gems. I will probably revisit some songs. I know you will too, but we're not gonna listen to the whole album as a whole.
Definitely not gonna be one of my albums for the year.
Oh fuck!
Definitely not.
Of course not. So again, we are Metal to the Core. Follow us on Instagram. We are also on Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. So ring that bell.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button, guys. Leave us a review. If not, we're going to end up reviewing fucking Hybrid Theory for all we know.
And we will, because this is just one paper cut away from doing it all, man.
One step closer to the end.
And I'm about to break.
Jesus. All right, guys. Later. Stay, brother.